Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different but a little bit more exciting, especially for me because this is the main reason why I wanted to start a YouTube channel. I really wanted to be able to help people who are starting out in makeup and have like basically no clue what they're doing. When I first started out doing makeup, I really felt like I had no idea what I was doing, and so I ended up spending so much money, wasting so much time on products that I didn't even get the best out of. So I really want to be able to give you guys as much information as possible so that you guys don't run into the same mistakes. Hopefully you guys learn something new. Hopefully you guys are able to apply the tips that I'm giving you and build a really strong knowledge base for makeup from this series. Today I'm going to be talking about foundation. What foundation basically does is it covers your imperfections, it gives you an even skin complexion, and it gives you like a really good base for you to build your makeup look on. So jumping into two of the main things that you're going to need to know before you decide to buy the perfect foundation for yourself is skin type and skin tone. These two things are basically what your foundation is based on. So there's 5 skin types: oily, combination, normal, sensitive, and dry. If you have oily skin, you'll generally have larger pores, shinier skin, oilier skin. You're more prone to blackheads, whiteheads, pimples, and acne. The kinds of foundations that you want to go for are things that have the words mattifying, matte foundation, stay put foundation, oil free. Those types of words are going to give you better coverage, longevity, which is great for oily skin. Oil tends to secrete through your skin and through your foundation. So some things that you can do in order to keep your foundation on for longer is to wear a mattifying primer underneath your foundation. Also use a setting powder to kind of set your foundation in place, and then you can also use a finishing powder to kind of blur out some of the pores. So with combination skin, what you're going to have is a combination of oily and dry skin, and by that I mean you will tend to have oily skin in certain areas of your face, and then you may have drier patches or flaky skin around your cheeks or your mouth or your nose. You can opt to use a matte foundation, but you're going to have to really prep your dry areas of your skin. Make sure you moisturize, make sure that you're giving it lots of hydration before applying your foundation. But also you can go in with a hydrating foundation as well. So you have two options. It depends on what you feel is best for your skin. If you do tend to go that route, make sure you always use your mattifying primers, setting powder, finishing powder on the areas that you do get oily. For people who have a normal skin type, you're not too oily or too dry, you're not sensitive to any makeup or ingredients, you can also go between liquid, cream, stick foundations, powder foundation. You probably have the most versatile skin type. For people who have dry skin, your skin tends to feel a little bit more dry, flaky. If you do wear foundation, it tends to cling to your skin. So you want to stay away from matte foundations and powder foundations. You want to go for something that's a little bit more hydrating. It might have the words luminizing, glowing, luminous. Those types of words will let you know it will give your skin a little bit more hydration and a little bit of a boost so that it doesn't dry out during the day. If you did want to go for a matte look, I would suggest really getting rid of any dead skin cells, really going in with a good moisturizer, and then starting your foundation routine. So for sensitive skin, you do have to be a bit more aware of some of the ingredients that are in the products. If you have sensitive skin, you probably will know you tend to have maybe a little bit more redness. It can become itchy, patchy, dry, tight. With certain ingredients, your skin might tend to swell up or become inflamed, so you really have to be careful with what you're putting on your skin. Some of the words that you might want to look out for are alcohol-free, fragrance-free, gluten-free, maybe vegan, mineral oil, and talc-free. Some matte foundations do contain talc, so you want to kind of look out for that in matte foundations. Also, you want to choose something that's maybe water-based. So if you look on the ingredients list at the back of the product or the bottle, it should say water as the first and main ingredient of the foundation. A couple of other things to avoid are sodium lauryl sulfate, or SLS. This can cause some irritation to your skin and eyes and also cause acne. Also, niacinamide or vitamin B3 will help to reduce any redness. Vitamin E is generally listed on the ingredients as tocopherol acetate, and that has healing agents in it. Titanium dioxide, zinc oxide, and silica also have been known to hide redness brightness and absorb oil. Those are probably words that you can kind of look out for just to help you choose the best foundation for your skin type. So the other thing that I want to talk to you about is skin tones, because there are 3 different types: warm, cool, and neutral. Cool undertones are a little bit more reddish, pinkish, or blue. So some things that you can do to check what kind of undertone you have is to look at the veins in your wrist. If they're a little bit more bluish, that might be an indicator that you are a cool tone. Also, if you feel like you suit silver jewelry over gold jewelry, that may be an indicator as well that you've got a cooler skin tone. So warm skin tones generally have more of a peachy, golden, yellow undertone, and you will tend to suit gold jewelry over silver jewelry. If you check your veins as well, they will look a little bit more green than they do blue. And if you wanted to kind of like take it a little bit further, what you can do is chuck on a white shirt to look in the mirror and see if you actually show up with more yellow, peachy undertones, to see if you're warm, or pinky, reddish undertones, in order to see if you're more cool toned. Obviously there is the neutral factor. If you have kind of like a mix of both, then you're probably a neutral skin tone. Okay, so now that those 2 things are out of the way, we can move on to buying a foundation. So there are about 5 types of different foundations: liquid, cream, mousse, stick, and powder foundation. Liquid is definitely the most common type of foundation that you will find in a store anywhere. With liquid foundations, you will be able to find something that's available for your skin type, and it can go from sheer coverage all the way through to full coverage. With cream foundations, it's generally a little bit thicker. It's definitely medium to full coverage foundation. So if that's the type of look that you want to go for, then definitely try out the cream foundation. It generally comes in a little compact, kind of like a powder. So you flip open the little lid thing, it will have a sponge inside. If you have normal, dry, or sensitive skin, I reckon this will be best for you because it is a little bit more hydrating. With mousse foundation, it's basically a liquid foundation that's been air whipped. It generally has a matte finish, but it feels a little bit more lightweight. You can get a medium to full coverage with it, and it will generally suit oily skin types, combination, mature, sensitive skin types, anything that's looking for a little bit more dryness, this will be perfect for you. So with the stick foundation, it's generally a solid foundation that may be a little bit harder to apply. So prep your skin, use a moisturizer, use a primer to allow it to spread a little bit more easily. Also, it has medium to full coverage. And last but not least, the powder foundation. This is definitely something that everybody is very aware of. It comes in a skin toned color. If you have dry skin, it may tend to cling to some of the dry patches, just like a matte foundation would. The coverage with powder foundation can go from a very sheer natural look to a very full coverage look. I'm pretty sure most of them are buildable, so you can build it up to the amount of coverage that you want. So also another thing that you want to think about before buying a foundation is the type of finish that it has. With a matte finish, you will get some drying down of the foundation. It's not going to look natural or dewy. It's going to be dry. It's good for events. If you're going out to any type of festivals, or if you need to wear it all day, this is definitely the type of foundation that you want to go for. So with a satin finish, you kind of are getting the best of both worlds. It has like a slight sheen in it, so you are getting that dewy, glistening look, and also it is full coverage, so you're getting that matte vibe as well. So if you want a really natural look, you're going to go for a more sheer finish. Something that has a little bit less product, something that you can still kind of see your skin through. If you don't want to cover up some of your freckles, this is the best finish for you. If you have beautiful natural skin, I suggest you do the sheer finish, because I mean, it's so beautiful to be able to see your natural skin, but just give it a quick once over with a sheer foundation just to even out your skin tone. You will look beautiful. And last but not least, the dewy finish. It's very high shine, so you're going to get a lot of luminosity. Wearing it during the summertime, going on vacation, those are the perfect times for you to wear it, like a dewy finish. And I love those really dewy looks. Oh, those are like my favorite, and I wish that I didn't have humongous pores. It would just end up terribly because my skin, honey, it's oily. Okay, so now that we've gone over a few important facts, we're going to get into actually buying the foundation. So What you want to do is you want to narrow it down, find the foundations that you think would suit you. Then you want to choose a couple of shades from those brands and swatch it on your hand. If you like the formula, then you're going to be able to test it on yourself. Swatch a couple of shades on your jawline and then blend it in. You'll be able to see which ones stand out a little bit more than the others and which ones kind of disappear into your skin. So if you turn your head and you look down this line here, if you can see that the colors that you've chosen, or one particular color that you've chosen, blends in perfectly with this line here, you've found your foundation shade. That's definitely something that you can do if your chest matches the color of your face. For me, I don't particularly go with that technique because my body is not the same shade as my chest. I tend to wear a lot of t-shirts, so my chest is a lot paler than the rest of my body, and my face is actually a lot darker than my chest. So the technique that I use is that I will find a couple of shades of one particular foundation or two foundations. I will swatch them on my hand, and then I will go up like this, and I will check the color of my arms, and I will see if it matches the color of my arms. Then I will check the color of my neck and my face, and I will see how well it matches. If it matches my arm and it looks okay against my like décolletage, I will then grab that shade, swatch it on my face. I'll blend it in, and then I will choose the color from there. But if that fails and you still have no idea what fucking color you are, ask for help. If you're in like a Sephora or a MAC store or a general makeup store, ask them to help you with a color match. They do it all the time. That's what they're there for. They will help you. Don't be afraid to ask. Some things that you can say if you're looking for a foundation is, hey, I'm looking for a foundation. I've got oily skin and I want full coverage. Can you help me out? So now you have your skin type down, you have your skin tone down, you understand what type of foundation you want, you understand the type of finish you want. It's time to be able to like finally test it out, take it home, apply it to your skin. There's so many different ways that you can apply it. There's brushes, there's sponges, there's like, that's probably it. Yeah, well that's all I've got down anyway. But for the application, the advice that I'm going to give you is basically personal opinion. So, my number one favorite all-time brush is the oval brush. This one gives great coverage. It doesn't soak up the product a lot. You can use it for liquids, creams, stick foundation, mousse foundation, anything that's spreadable. Another pro that I really appreciate with the oval brush is the fact that it covers so much space on your face. Especially with my type of skin, I have like oily to combination skin. So I use a lot of matte foundations, and matte foundations tend to dry a little bit quicker. So if I'm going in with a oval brush, it's really easy to kind of spread it all around without it setting beforehand. My second favorite would definitely be the Beauty Blender. I do feel like it does take a little bit longer to apply the foundation because you are kind of like going like this forever. I do feel like it also absorbs a lot of the product. Because it's a sponge, like obviously it's going to absorb. So I prefer to apply the foundation and then kind of blend it out with the Beauty Blender. If you're going to go in with a matte foundation and a Beauty Blender, I would suggest kind of doing it in sections. So maybe do this side of your face first, and then this side of your face next, and then do this part if your foundation is really drying. Something that I do love about the Beauty Blender though is that there's nothing that's going to look out of place when you use a Beauty Blender. It's just flawless. And also it pushes the foundation into your skin as well, so I love that fact too. Another favorite of mine is using a flat top kabuki brush or a buffer brush. This brush is really dense, so it's good to push the foundation into your skin, giving you that really full coverage look. It's good for oily to combination skin for that fact. Okay, so the next one that I'm going to mention is probably one of my least favorite ways of applying foundation. It is with the flat foundation brush. This brush tends to be very streaky with certain foundations, and I don't really like that application. I feel like the best way to use it is to kind of swipe it on, use it to apply the foundation, and then go in with a beauty blender and blend it all out. Another one of the applicator tools that you can use is the Duo Fiber stippling brush. The bristles on this brush are a little bit longer and a little bit more spread out, so it's not as dense. So if you have dry skin or a normal skin type, you could probably get away with using this brush because it's just kind of going to give you that really nice coverage that you want if you've got dry skin, and it's a little bit more luminizing. It will give you that dewy finish that you're looking for. So yeah, really good brush for dry skin types. The lucky last brush is the powder brush. This brush is basically only able to be used with a powder foundation, so it's generally quite big, fluffy, it covers a lot of space, and you can kind of buff it out to get the coverage that you want to achieve. So I feel like I've basically covered everything that I could ever tell you about foundations. If you guys do have any questions though, just leave them in the comments below and I will try and answer them as best as I can. But when it comes to wearing foundations or choosing foundations, don't worry about it too much. Just do whatever you want to do, honestly. It's just makeup. You can always make it work. If your foundation is too dark, you can lighten it up with concealer. If your foundation is too light, you can always go in with contour and bronzer to kind of give that color depth back into it. There's always ways that you can make the foundation look as great as it needs to look on your skin. But I hope you guys really enjoyed this very in-depth video. Let me know in the comments below if this helped you at all. Enjoy your day and I will see you in my next video. Bye!